Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. On the show tonight, we'll be talking about the Africa Cup of Nations. Of course, we are still counting down to the Nations Cup. It's 16 days and all the teams are getting ready. Some are changing training camps. For instance, Ghana are changing their training camp from Joburg, that's Johannesburg in South Africa, to Kumasi. That's where they will camp. So they will be camping in their own country. And the friendly against Botswana in Johannesburg has also been cancelled. You also have Cote d'Ivoire, the likes of Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon. These teams are releasing their final squad. And also, we're going to take a look at some of these teams that have released their squad, and also the matches that the coaches have won, and just do a kind of all-round analysis on some of these teams that are going into the Nations Cup. 24 teams, 1 trophy, and of course it's in Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be aiming to do it again right there in Cote d'Ivoire. Also, we'll take a look at the games currently going on in the English Premier League with Tottenham and Brighton. Brighton already 2 goals up against Tottenham. You also have another game coming up much later, which is West Ham and, of course, Arsenal. That's 9:15. I know everyone is looking forward to that because Arsenal need to win that to return to the top of the league table. Also, we'll talk about Nigeria Premier Football League. Remo Stars going into the new year top of the table with Heartland scoring 3 goals for the first time in almost 2 years. The last time they did that was in 2021 or that, but that was the last, or 2022, the last time they did that against 3SC. But right now they were able to do it against Remo Stars. And of course, we'll touch down on tennis, where Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, these guys are preparing for the Brisbane International and also the Australian Open. And before the Australian Open and Brisbane International, you have the tennis cup that they are also preparing for, where countries, 18 teams get to play against each other. Missed a team. We'll also talk about that. And of course, the story about Erik ten Hag and the new owners of Manchester United. When I mean the new owners, of course, because they've got the highest stake. When you have 25% of the club, you almost have it all. We'll be talking about what they're preparing for Manchester United next season. So much more to look forward to. Well, I'm not alone tonight. Yes, Austin is under the weather, a bit of flu, but I've got Bolo Omoni in the studio tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, Sisi. And it's good to be on a day where we have lots of goals in the NPFL midweek game. I can't recall the last time we had this many goals in a midweek game in the NPFL. 21 goals in 9 games. The last few times you see stuff like, there was a time we had 11 goals.
11 goals,
in 9 games. So this time I think I'm loving it. What a way to end the season. Like I said, Heartland didn't just win. They scored 3 in a game against probably one of the best defenses we have in the NPFL. Maybe it's a great way for them to end the NPFL season. Let's see. Now, it's not half of the season, but at least they're going on a break now, coming in the new year. Let's see how teams will get going. And the shock results we are seeing so far in the Premier League, Brighton leading against Spurs by 2-0. That's not what many of us saw. For FPL fans, it's not FPLA for many of us at all. But it's a good day to be here again. And Africa Cup of Nations is knocking at the door. And Africa doing what many don't like them to do. I'm sure we'll get into discussions later.
Obviously, we'll get into that. And of course, we're starting with the countdown. It's 16 days to go to the Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire 2023. That's how it is called, because it was supposed to be held this year. But then it's been held 2024. But Cote d'Ivoire 2023 is what it's being called. Yes, we're going into that right now, talking about the Africa Cup of Nations. We're going to start off with the numbers of tickets that have been sold. Most of these teams, yes, host nation usually would definitely take the lead when it comes to situations like that, especially when you have a ticket being sold. I will start off with that once we get that slide. But first, we just have to take a look at some of these other teams that are also preparing. Yes, we have 16 days to go to the Africa Cup of Nations, and I believe every team, every country, they're all getting ready. Those that want to play friendlies, but we're still waiting for confirmation from Nigerian Football Federation concerning Nigeria, how many friendlies that will be played, before the Nations Cup starts, and where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be camping. Is it going to be Nigeria or Saudi Arabia or somewhere else? We have so many countries, camping outside the country. But let's just take a look at the tickets that have been sold. Some of these fans are already buying tickets to get ready to watch this game. And as usual, the highest would definitely be the host nation. Now, Cote d'Ivoire, you have 32,307 tickets already sold. Guinea-Bissau is second. That's surprise, right? 28,614 tickets, and Equatorial Guinea is third. They've sold 16,237, and of course Nigeria, yeah, fourth, 12,000 only. What are we waiting for? What? 12,544. If we want to do it again, we need so many fans to be in Abidjan to cheer the Super Eagles to victory, because the group is actually the group of the host nation. And you know what? That Senegal is next, number 5 at 10,959. They are the defending champions. Now, let's flip over to some of these games that are already sold out. Yes, some games have been sold out. Now, let's take a look at these. The best-selling match tickets so far: Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea-Bissau. That's why you also had them at the top 3 in terms of tickets sold so far. Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria is second. I expected Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria to be first, but you have Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria second. The surprise about Equatorial Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire, no surprise about it. Senegal and Cameroon, I thought this will come up, but Senegal and Cameroon are actually fourth on this one. I was also looking forward to that Ghana and Egypt game being sold out, but we're not having that here. But we're looking at the top 4, and these are the tickets already are sold out. But take a look at the other one. You have the Gambia and Guinea, also another ticket sold out. Ghana and Egypt. This particular one is number 5. I thought this will be top, judging from the fact that these teams, one has won the Nations Cup 7 times, the other have won it 4 times. You're thinking this country is, because of how consistent they are at the Nations Cup, you should be having sold out tickets, but that is not to be. So I'm going to come to you, Bolu, on this one. I mean, we've seen tickets being sold out already. I mean, look at the game, 32,000, but we know how big that stadium is. I know more tickets obviously will be sold before the tournament will start. For you, were you surprised by some of these tickets sold?
you should expect games involving all the West African teams to be almost sold out, because they are neighbors to Cote d'Ivoire.
It's easy to travel down.
I'm even more shocked that Nigeria Ivory Coast ticket is not the number 1 there. You expect Nigeria, the biggest team in that group, against the host nation Ivory Coast. So while the tickets meant to be some, but it just shows people are more interested in every game that is involving the host nation. So in case you're wondering, when you start hearing vuvuzelas, when you see their full capacity in games involving Ivory Coast, don't be shocked. And I like that. It just meant everyone is coming out to watch the game for the host nation. Everyone wants to come out to support Ivory Coast. Even their legend, Didier Drogba, spoke about, Nigeria a big threat with the big boys they have in their squad, but they are still going to give their best, continue with their preparation, stay focused and all. And it drummed the support for the national team. It meant for someone like Drogba to come out. Imagine maybe Nigeria hosting, and maybe JJ Okocha, the makers and Kose, everyone come out to support Nigeria, or I will be there. Things like that. So I like how they are coming out to support them. Remember, there was a period early this year that there were still doubts about their preparations and everything. But here they are showing everyone that we are coming out in full force to support our nation. Imagine how weird it would be if Ivory Coast game tickets are probably outside top 5 most sold. Even being second will probably be an insult. That you are playing in your house and your match the tickets are not. So I like that the Ivorians are coming out in full force. So Super Eagles, this is a drum warning to you guys that don't think you go there and have all the fans. No, the host nations will definitely have you support. But
not even half, close to half, 32 and 12,000. That's a no. But I know people are still trying to, this is December. I mean, people are spending money for Christmas. I know when it starts, January, more people want to buy tickets to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, let's take a look at, Joseph Peseiro heading into AFCON. I know people have been talking about he's not the right man to take us to the Nations Cup, but he's still the one, because he got the target. He had to take the players to the Nations Cup. Let's take a look at his statistics, because if you look at going into the Nations Cup, how many games he has played, how many games he has lost, how many games he has won, and how many games he has drawn. You look at the Super Eagles of Nigeria, if they're really a threat at this Nations Cup, because this is Group A we are looking at, and these are the teams we will be facing.
Naturally, based on squad, I say it every day, we have the best squad in Africa. People think we have probably top 2, top 3 best forward line in the world of football, because there are a few strikers in the world now that you tell me are better than Victor Boniface and Victor Osimhen right now, based on form. Victor Boniface has won the Rookie of the Year 5 times consecutively, the same league that has Harry Kane. It just shows how brilliant it's been so far this season. And talk about the support cast, talk about Ademola Lookman, talk about Samuel Chukwueze, who sent Newcastle out of the UEFA Champions League. We have enough going forward. In the midfield, Alex Iwobi is probably one of his best form. We have Ndidi doing so well in the championship with Leicester City. Moving on, we have Fisao Dele Bashiru. Yes, a new import to the squad, but it's been brilliant. Recently, Joe Aribo's coach of Southampton has been hyping him, has been training hard, fighting tough and everything. Even in defense that people don't focus much on. The likes of Kevin Akpoguma has been brilliant. Calvin Bassey, yeah, maybe not here and there, but Omero is doing well, Awazim is doing well. But just forget the fullback position. We have more than enough. Zedu Sanoti, Jamilu Collins, who's recovered on the left, on the right. All I know can play anywhere. Yeah. So the squad is full, although we don't have any goalkeeper yet. And we have a below par manager leading the squad. That's where those two positions are where my worry lies. No matter world-class players that you have in your squad, if the coach is not good enough, he's played how many games now? Almost 20 matches, and he has less than 50% win ratio. That alone is a fear going into the tournament, because with Nigeria, and it's not that we play Brazil, Spain, Argentina, and all those games. No. Including Zimbabwe, we play Lesotho in those games and we fail to win. And that's my fear, that's my worry going into this tournament. But like they say, let's see when the tournament comes. Like the mandate is the tournament, but there was a rumor that he must win. But at least let the tournament start. First game,
but if you take a look at his contract, the semi-final is his target.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah. And when they were talking, Sport Minister said, no, you give him a target, which is the AFCON. Let's see the outcome of the Africa Cup of Nations.
Before you can think of whatever you want to do. But do we have plans? Because it's 16 days to go now. We're hearing from different countries. We already know where they want to come, friendlies they want to play, what they intend to do and everything. But for Super Eagles of Nigeria, there's still speculations out there. When you don't get the story, you give room for for people to actually fill in information, what they feel, what they think it will be. The stories of we camping in Saudi Arabia, stories of we playing some 2 friendlies before the AFCON, but these stories are not confirmed, because if you go to NFF website, or Nigeria hasn't said anything concerning that, so we really can't dwell on that speculation. Do you think we are maybe behind time in terms of preparations for the Nations Cup? We had just 16 days, that's 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 2 days.
I saw an interview with Sheyi Olofinjano, and he said exactly the same thing about lack of preparation. The truth is, there are reports here and there, but there's no official
no confirmation
news from the communications. We'll just be assuming the reports are true. From the reports, they are meant to travel tomorrow. For those that are on break already, but don't forget English players, those in the Premier League, they will play their New Year fixture before joining.
Yeah, because 2 weeks.
Exactly. Some are saying Saudi Arabia, some are saying United Arab Emirates. But it still makes absolutely no sense if the report is true. You are playing in Ivory Coast, just beside you.
Same
what are you
going
Nigeria to do in Asia? So sometimes you think this thing, and there are reports also of 2 friendly games. I was like, okay, 2 friendlies, African teams, still good.
Switch it in. Are you going to put it in?
You have Abuja here. We have Uyo.
No, Abuja, we can do Uyo.
Exactly.
Because of the stadium.
You can camp anywhere here. Yeah. You can even go to Ibadan, okay, but camp here because Nigeria is closer. UAE or Asia is very far.
Close it to everyone.
I'm trying to hold on since there's no official report. So let's see if they will come up with an official. But the fact that they've not said anything now, to either agree with the reports or deny it, just shows lack of preparation. That's just the simple truth.
All right, let's take a look at the statistics from Joseph Peseiro. So far, since he was appointed in 2022, matches he has played so far, 15 matches he has played, he won 6 out of 15. And of course, drawn 3, he lost 6. Okay, that's equal, right? 6 won, 6 lost, and 3 draws out of 15 matches. Is that's the coach that is going into the Nations Cup? Are you afraid?
I've been afraid since the day he was appointed. Since the day the rumor came that a certain Morio, I'm sure it's not Jose Morio, maybe it's another Peseiro Morio suggesting, because going by his antecedents.
Yeah. He's a Portuguese, so maybe.
He's a Portuguese by name, by birth, but his numbers don't prove that he's Portuguese, because check his numbers. Almost everywhere he's been to. 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, just over a year, he got sacked everywhere. We can't be going from General whom we escaped. Even General's profile was way better than this. I would say accomplished after one. General started well. Peseiro didn't start well. He didn't. Okay, he's not finished. I can't say he didn't finish well. But so far, I don't think there's any Nigerian that is confident that Nigeria will do well based on the manager. The only hope we're having is the players turn up irrespective of what the coach does. But on the flip side, Whatever happens to if it's the player that decides to turn up themselves, the Haley's will still go to the manager, which I don't care. Irrespective of person being good or not, we have to support that because that's what we have going into the tournament, and we hope Nigeria do it. I always rate semi-final, even before NFF said, any team that gets to the semi-final for me has done well in that tournament. So hopefully these guys get there, not do well in the group stage, then lose out to anybody in the second round. Because based on what we've seen so far, it feels like we are not that far from the minnows since Jose Pessoa has taken charge.
Wow. Not far from minutes. Okay, let's take a look at another. We also we cut them off because the host nation. That's the group we are in. We're reviewing Group B, right? So let's talk about the coach of Cote d'Ivoire, Jean-Louis Gasset. I mean, he was appointed the same time that Joseph Pesero was appointed, same 2022. And just take a look at the statistics. 10 matches he has played, and he has won 6. Ours played 15, winning 6. Same numbers of wins, but he played more games. And of course, drawn 3, just like Nigeria. And take a look at the last figure. He has lost just 1 game in 10 matches. And that is the country we're playing against at the group stage.
In a school setup, he'll be getting B. And for Pesero, definitely Pesero is in the E range.
Yeah,
E or even F.
No, not F, E.
Some schools will not even take E from you because he's got about 6 wins in 10 games. And Pesero, 6 wins just shows. And the fact that the nations we've played and drawn against just says it all. But like some people will tell you,
and there's no Egypt in the mix, there's no Senegal in the mix, there's no Cameroon in the mix,
no Algeria
in the mix.
So you can have a poor preparation, poor run, and do well at a tournament. If that's possible. The story, I don't mind. You know, it will be interesting to tell Ghana that we have now caught up with you guys on 4-4. But having great preparation and like the last time I do poorly at the tournament, that will be poor. But still, I don't trust Jose Pesero. Not that the numbers of the Ivorian coach, Jean-Louis, is brilliant because he just played 10 games. But you will have confidence in the manager that has lost 1 game. And the coach has lost 6 games, including games to some teams that are way, way below Nigeria in the ranking. I'm worried going into the tournament. But let's see. Even our preparation is not speaking well for us going into this tournament. But we do this all the time. Our preparations are almost never good, except maybe the Russia 2018 World Cup. We prepare
it was
like
the best.
Just do anyhow, go to the tournament, and we turn up. So let's hope they turn up. Like I say, we have good players. We have quality players. I hear people say we overhype our players. No. We don't. We talk about them based on what we see them do for the club. Like we said about Boniface. Osimhen just won the African best player. Victor Boniface has won best rookie player in the German Bundesliga for 5 months consecutively. Yeah. We see defenders doing well. We see Michiraz Iwobi is now a mainstay in the Fulham squad. We see this. If you watch Leicester City this season, indeed he doesn't even play as a DM anymore. He play a more advanced role. These guys can come up with the form. But again, remember they train less with the national team. So it is what the coach does with them that really matters. So for now, if I'm looking at these numbers,
that's why we need that 2 weeks.
If I'm looking at these numbers, I'll be more confident as an Ivorian than in Nigeria. That, our coach has lost 1, going up against a coach has lost. And indeed, we are hyping. Don't forget they won't join the team until January. It means they'll probably have less than 2 weeks to prepare. I may be worried.
Today's 28th already.
But let's see what happens.
You're worried. I'm worried too. I'll tell your line. So let's take a look at another team also in the group. You know, that's where you have Guinea-Bissau also in that group. Now, Michel Equatorial Guinea was appointed in 2021. They played lesser games. He's played 7 matches, won 5, drawn 2. He's yet to lose a game in 7. That's another record you look at. Yes, you say he has played less games, but then having played 7 matches and won 5 out of it, you give him a B or an A.
I don't care about this one.
Okay.
The 0 there, after the AFCON, they will have at least 2.
2 or
1
3.
from Nigeria. Now I'm hoping and praying it happens like that. Naturally, we shouldn't be scared of Equatorial Guinea based on history, based on players, based on antecedents, based on everything. We shouldn't be scared of Equatorial Guinea. But we said the same thing about Madagascar a few years ago, not getting a raw, and we lost in the final group game. Thankfully, they won the first 2 matches. It would have been worse. So naturally, you shouldn't be worried. Yes, 0 losses are not, but I'm not scared of Equatorial Guinea. I'm not. Even though it is still Pesero, but I'm still not scared.
Okay, let's go to the last one, which is, of course, Guinea-Bissau. That's the last country we will be taking a look at. Bassirou Kande, he was appointed in 2017. He's been with the team for a very, very long time. When you have a team that have stayed together this long with one coach, it's always difficult to tear them apart. matches they played so far since that 2017 is 44, and we've had 2 coaches, or 3 if you add Eguavoen, who was a caretaker during when Genetro was asked to leave. He has won 15 out of the 44 he has played. He has drawn 12, and he has lost 17. That's the numbers. So we'll go on a break. When we come back, of course, we'll continue our countdown to the Africa Cup of Nations, and also I will talk about the Nigeria Premier League and how Remo Stars remain top of the league despite losing to Heartland 3-1. All right, we're still talking about the Africa Cup of Nations, of course. We are in Guinea-Bissau. I mean, they've had a coach since 2017, and he has played 44 matches, as I mentioned earlier, and won 15 out of 44. That's very low. Drawn 12 and lost 17. He has lost more games than he won. So I think that's another whipping boys in Nigeria group.
I think the best points they can get in that group is probably 1. Yeah, they tried. They were not given a free pass. It wasn't a free ticket. They qualified, but I think they are the crossroads at the boss. So based on even but it just shows it's probably taking, at least the fact that I got them to the AFCON is a win for a country like Guinea-Bissau. But I think appearance fee is what they are getting. I shouldn't be worried. The 2 Guinea teams, either the Equatorial or the Bissau, I'm not worried about them. What I'm worried about is Nigeria finishing 1st or 2nd. Except something extraordinary happens that will make Jose trek from Ivory Coast to Portugal. Nigeria should be battling even 1st in that group. Any other thing is not. Equatorial Guinea-Bissau, nah, I'm not. Just look at the run of the coach for the 4 games, 17 losses. That spells doom ahead of the Africa Cup. I won't be shocked if that 17 turns to 20 after AFCON. Oh,
yeah, it's possible. They might just lose all 3 games. Well, all right. Okay, let's leave the Group A and talk about the team that have released the squad, because, surprise, surprise, there's some players you always want to see in a squad when some teams are releasing their final squad for the national squad. Now, Cameroon got all their 27 players, all of them ready. Onana, of course, he is in the squad. Remember how he walked out at the World Cup after just 2 matches? But then there is a player who plays for Bayern Munich, a forward who has played 19 games in all competitions this season, scoring 3 goals, 2 in Bundesliga, and of course 1 in the Champions League. But then he is not in the squad. I'm talking about Choupo-Moting. He's not in there, and the coach have explained that he is a very good player, but then in recent times he had not been with the squad. In the last 3 outings in Cameroon, he hasn't been there. He wasn't selected, or he did not turn up, and that's why the coach, he is not picking him. But Onana, of course, I know Manchester United fans will be very happy. Onana will be out in January, almost from January 13, or even before that, 2 weeks. That 2 weeks break is going to happen, and then till February, if they get to the end, February.
Well, Choupo-Moting has not been part of the squad.
Yeah.
Onana has not been part of the squad, but Onana made it ahead of Choupo-Moting. There are some players you just need in your squad.
Yeah.
Choupo-Moting, while he was even playing for Cameroon regularly, he was even a bench warmer. I remember for like 2-3 years in different clubs, he was a bench warmer, the backup player. So if as a then that he wasn't playing, you have him. Now that he gets minutes is when you feel he's not a member of the squad. But like I said, the manager, as a coach, he knows what he wants. But I'm not surprised at Onana. The question now, will Onana decide to go? Because remember, there was a time he was contemplating if he would decide to stay back at United and help. And United fans say, please don't stay back. Let's go to the Africa Cup of Nations. And again, it's yet to be known if he'll be a starter with the national team. Remember the issue he had with Gobert Song at the last Africa Cup of Nations? It's still there. Everything Song said is what we are seeing right now. That he plays too much a ball on the field, blah, 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 and he makes errors, saving with the hands. And we are seeing it with the Cameroon, with the Manchester United squad. So the first question is, will Onana be a starter in the national team, or is going there as a backup player? So these are questions to be asked. But I have to say, I'm very, very surprised. In a squad of 27, Choupo-Moting couldn't make it. Naturally, it's 23. Carve open there, okay, you can make it as much as 27. And Choupo-Moting is not good enough to make 27 in Africa for African Cup of Nations list. Well, let's see if that will not come back to bite them later. Yeah,
because if you want to quote him, he said, Moting is a very good player, but my staff and I want the continuity of recent times. He's an important player, but we had to make a choice in line with what we've been doing for some time now.
Why did they call Onana?
Precisely. But Onana actually came back I mean, he returned and helped them to qualify for the Nations Cup. He was part of the qualifiers. So maybe because he was part of that, and the last 3 games, he hasn't been there. But then you have Brentford striker Brian Mombo underwent surgery. Momo is injured, so he's not. That's another striker. So are they going to rely on Vincent Abubakar? Is that the player they're going to rely on? I mean, this is going to be his 7th. It should be his 7th or 8th AFCON now.
That looks like it.
Cup, yeah.
So those are things sometimes there are some players if it's 23, even if it's 23-man list, you still consider that you need a Choupo-Moting. You can't. But I'm sure he said it continuity, so it means he has a plan. But the fact that Mbongo is injured. Yeah. That's probably the reason you should have considered a Choupo-Moting, except his replacement in maybe a young player that plays in Cameroon or something.
There's a 17-year-old Wilfred Nathan Douala who plays in Cameroon League. He has never been called up. This is his first colour, but he is 17.
Then what happened to the continuity of the team of the African Cup of Nations?
Okay.
So sometimes when they explain some things, they shoot themselves in the foot. Just come up and tell us it's probably a decision you guys made for different reasons. Don't tell us if it's continuity. Why are you inviting a debutant who's not played for the team before to the African Cup of Nations? You know, there's sometimes you need a senior man. In some games that will probably turn around. Then those are the players who depend on to turn up. Well, let's see, could be the break for the teenager at the Africa Cup of Nations. I'm not a coach. Rigobe Song is the man in charge, and he has made his call. Let's see if it will bite him back or it will be a good news for him.
Ekambi is there, Vincent Abubakar is there. So maybe these players are the ones he's obviously going to rely on. In the midfield, of course, Zambo Aguiza. You know,
if he does not call him, I'll be in Cameroon today. Actually, be one of Napoli's best midfielders for the last 2-3 years.
He doesn't have a choice than to call them. Well, that's the squad for Cameroon here. Just updates coming from Ghana is the fact that I mentioned earlier at the opening of the show that they will no longer be camping in South Africa, Johannesburg. That's where they're supposed to start their camp this Sunday, 31st of December. But now they moved it to 2nd of January, and they will camp in Kumasi in Ghana. And of course, the federation has said that they will close it to everybody, to the media, because they want to have a serene environment where the players and coaches will have opportunity to train together. So starting January 2nd, that's where the camp for the Black Stars of Ghana will open. And the friendly against Botswana, and they're supposed to happen January 8th. That has been cancelled. So that's the updates coming from the Ghanaian camp. So we know when they're opening camp, and we know what they intend to do during this period. The only friendly they were supposed to play against Botswana, that has been cancelled. You were talking about, before we came on set, we're talking about countries wanting to camp outside Africa. We're not asking the questions. You look at the weather, and then you want to go outside. Is it to actually waste money, or maybe to kind of prevent people from coming to the players' camp? Or what are some of these countries trying to achieve?
It makes absolutely no sense to have Africa Cup of Nations and you are camping in Asia to prepare for it. What's the sense in it? And the fact that some West African countries who are neighbors to Ivory Coast are also going there makes no sense. What was the initial plan of Ghana going to Johannesburg to camp? South Africa is way far from Ivory Coast. Different weather. They're like, the weathers are like opposites. Ghana is closer to the place. At least I like that they let the voice of the reason happen in there, because
they had to meet with the technical crew. I'm sure the technical team are the ones that decided,
we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. Let's stay here.
Because you can't tell me Super Eagles, for example, can't camp in Uyo. You can't tell me they can't camp in Abuja. You can't tell me they can't camp in Lagos. Where one, you'll be spending naira. Less money. Some people may even decide to fund some things because it's, everyone wants to be a part of a success story. But the rumor, let me put it like I said, you are going to either, I think Saudi.
Let's leave that. Let's talk about countries that have confirmed players, because that's still speculation.
Senegal, I love Senegal.
It's still speculation.
Senegal are staying at home.
Staying at home.
Morocco, there's no need to even
think about it.
Morocco has said they will camp all the countries for the AFCON they are hosting in different locations. They know what they are doing. South Africa, of course, are staying in South Africa. Mali are staying in Mali, but some of the reports are saying they are going there. Some countries are even camping in Mali. Some are going to UAE for Africa Cup of Nations. Okay,
they've got money to spend, so they can actually spend the money. These countries will be ready to welcome them. All right, let's leave the Nations Cup. We'll call it a day here in the Nations Cup, right? Now, we'll move over to the Nigerian Premier League. That's what we'll be eager to talk about because of what's currently going on in the league. Let's just take a look at the games that were played today. Doma United and Sunshine Stars. That game, Sunshine Stars were able to end their 3-game winless run. They were able to beat Doma United by 2-0. So Doma United didn't get the opportunity to, kind of displace Remo Stars. If they had won, they would have been able to displace Remo Stars. But these are the games that were played earlier today. Katsina and Akwa United ended 1 in favor of Katsina. Abia Warriors and Gombe United 3-1. Bayelsa United and Aimbo 3-2-1. Aimbo went away from home to defeat Bayelsa United 2-1. Enugu Rangers and Shooting Stars 2-0. Heartland and Remo Stars. Now, this is the result for the day. But Boye is doing something fantastic. Kano Pillars and Kwara United, that ended 2-1 in favor of course, the home team, Kano Pillars. Flip over to all the games for today. Lobby Stars and Niger Tornadoes was by a lone goal. They won. Plateau United defeating Sporting Lagos by a lone goal. And Rivers United and Ben Insurance ended 1-0. Ben Insurance scored first in this one before Rivers United were able to pull one back for Ben Insurance. Now, I know the game, yes, Heartland. Let's start off with that because we didn't see it coming. Yes, Remo Stars are good travelers, but after this game, I begin to wonder, Heartland, what happened? They won 2 games this season, right? And then you're beating the table toppers, ending the year with this. I believe the fans and the coach, obviously, they will be smiling right now.
After the game, I received some messages. Because on my radio show, I said that no matter what happens, Remo Stars are not losing. I don't be shocked if they end up winning the game. Then I just got the first notification that you told us to put our money where the mouth is, because I didn't see it coming. That's at the 93rd minute. The game was still 1-0 draw. So okay, well, at least my prediction is coming through. Then 94th minute 2-1, 97th minute 3-1. It just showed the non-resilient spirit for Heartland, that no matter what happens, we are finishing on the high, because it's not Remo Stars you should use to finish the season
on a high.
Win at home. It just shows, it gives them confidence that, oh, okay, maybe we can come into the new year and do much more. How they started the season was a surprise to many. Even when Kenneth Bobo came on board, they still couldn't win a few games. So now beating a Remo Stars, unfortunately for them, they are going on a short break. But believe me, when they come back again in the new year, I think this win should give them, it's what they call confidence booster now. If we can do it against the big boys, we can do it again. But again, like I said, the 2 goals were very late. So maybe they were not that spectacular. It could be the all outs of Remo Stars that cost them the loss in that game. But you still have to give kudos to them in that match. 3 goals. They don't score 2 goals. Not to talk of scoring 3 goals. So very impressive 3 points for Heartland. Let's see how far they can go from there.
And if you check, at the end of first time, it was goalless. And you were thinking maybe Remo Stars were going to hold on. When the 50th minute, Promise Ion scored from the penalty spot. Then Sikiru Alimi equalized for Remo Stars. You're thinking, okay, it's going to end 1-1. But somehow, Onyekachi Okafor 90th minute and Chinedu Ike 90th minute. So it was at that time. Somehow Remo Stars, I don't know, maybe they thought at least we can go home with a draw. But somehow they considered 2 late goals. And that was the end of that. And another game that got me talking, Rivers United and Ben Insurance. We talk about Rivers United having 5 games in hand. Now they're playing games, but then Chisom Okereke scored in 21st minute, and then 38th minute, Iima Wangwa was the one who equalized for Rivers United. You're thinking Rivers United, because of their precarious situation on the league table, they should have won this game. Playing at home, having played lesser games, and their position is not looking good on the league table, but somehow they could not get all 3 points against Ben Insurance.
Well, Iima Wangwa has been a beautiful scorer for them. It's even on the continent, he's been scoring like a few goals for them. And against Ben Insurance, the stingiest defense in the NPFL, this was just their 8th goal they've considered so far this season. And guess the man in goal for them, Amas Obasoge. That people said they just gave a free pass into the Super Eagles. It was not a free pass. That guy don't concede goals.
They should look at statistics.
The funny thing is, he had considered 1 before going to the Super Eagles squad. The 2 games they played in his absence, they considered 4. He came back, then he went on to stop conceding goals. So he's been the best goalkeeper in the NPFL so far. So scoring 1 save against him was a bonus for them. And the Rivers United, they need to find a way to start winning until, I think the Convention Cup is not returning until February. So the space between now and then, they'll be playing back-to-back games. They play weekend, play midweek, except there's a general league game. But if there's no general midweek game, they have to keep playing the outstanding matches they have. And if they do not win, yes, I know if they win like 3 of them, they're pushing into the top 4. But like they said, game at hand is not a guarantee. It is when you play the match out. Like this one now, against the Sean, some may think, oh, playing at home is supposed to be a straight win, and then they're playing 1-0 draw. Yes, maybe not the best way to win the season, but at least they didn't lose. So they have to find a way now to start the new year. Because when continental game resume again, they start missing outstanding games. But sometimes outstanding games, when you start piling these matches, it's not good enough for you. While others are resting, you keep playing multiple games and it could have a not so good repercussion for the team. So let's see how they will start the new year. But 1-1 draw, maybe not that bad against the stingy Bendel Insurance defense.
Oh, really? But away from home, you're thinking they should have all it. But another game that got me talking is, okay, Enyimba against Bayelsa United. You think, yes, Enyimba, a bigger team. But Chidozie and, Awanze, Ekene Awanze and Boma were the guys who scored goals for them. But this is another one. Look at Enyimba, the way they didn't start so well this season. But now, they've actually got a grip on the season. And you're looking at these teams, a team that may just, with what happened to Remo Stars today, shows that they're not a team that can focus in all 90 minutes. Because you don't concede 2 late goals. This is a team that never scored 3 goals since May 2022. And it was against Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars, and now against Remo Stars. They love scoring against Southwest clubs. But you're looking at that, maybe Enyimba may just be a team to, yes, I know it's 16 games, it's still very early, but with what they've done, going away, I think they were the only team who won away from home. Yep. Insurance, of course, it was a draw away from home. Every other teams, won their home matches.
Enyimba have a game in hand and they're just 3 points behind the leaders, Remo Stars. It speaks volume. Because funny thing is, they could have been top if they didn't lose at home to the same Remo Stars. And you will almost beat your chest that Enyimba, if they don't win both, they will at least win one. And winning one, they are leveled upon the Remo Stars. Then we'll start going battle with head-to-head. But yeah, Remo Stars scored lots of goals this season. But Enyimba are not pushovers. They are not a team you think, not. If Enyimba are the ones that have 5 outstanding games like Rivers United, you can beat your chest, they win 3 or 4 of those games. Enyimba are a proper side. They are a traditional team in the NPFL. They know when to rise to the occasion. That's why almost every time there's an abridged version, you can beat your chest that Enyimba will likely be the winner. And now that it's the full 38 games, they know they started poorly, and it's probably more because of the internal problems they had. Many thought the Finidi John would be gone after coming out at the managers, the owners, and all. But everything turned around. They started winning games. Now they are pushing the top 4 with 2 games in hand. Like I said, 3 points behind the leaders, 2 games in hand. Just win the 2 games, and you are top conveniently with 3 points. But it's Enyimba, and the fact that this was an away win. The New Year match could be a home win for them. And the other guys that will be going away means they can probably move to 2nd or 3rd. And they will still have 2 games in hand. Enyimba are just Enyimba. No matter what you say about them. They are the greatest team in the NPFL for a reason.
I like that. All right, let's leave the NPFL and go to England, English Premier League. Let's talk about Manchester United, for instance, before we give you updates of the games that is currently going on in the league. After the British billionaire, of course, Jim Ratcliffe, 2 days he took over, and of course, United were able to come from a goal down, 2 goals down to beat. We were on the show when Osu was talking about the results, as in the updates, giving us the updates, and Rotimi Akindele was here. Both of his hands were on his head, like he was shocked. Like, you shouldn't be shocked because of the position of Aston Villa. But somehow, people were wondering, what did Erik ten Hag told his players in the dressing room, that they came back, they fought, they won. Not just by, they won by 3 goals to 2, despite going down. We've seen United, once they go down like that, the highest they could get would just be a draw. And then they manage, or maybe they come back, but the other team will still score. They'll end up winning. But this time around, I don't know if it's the Ratcliffe effect, or because they've taken a minority stake at United, or maybe there was something, how they were able to claw back from that 2 goals down to get that victory. So you think, is it a fresh start for Erik ten Hag, because he actually welcomed, this minority stake that Jim had on the club?
Well, one of the problems United have had this season are the lesser oppositions in quotes. So I won't put too much on it. The comeback is massive. Coming back from a goal down is huge. Coming down from 2 goals down against anybody is always very, very can. It boosts the confidence. Maybe what we would have told them is, there's a new owner. All of us will be gone if you play rubbish. And the truth is, almost every time there's a new owner in town, they always have a plan. The first plan is, let's see what happens with this current squad, the scoring management. If anything goes wrong, we'll push them aside and bring us. Maybe it would have been, guys, even me, my job is not secured now. If you go poor, they sack me, they sell some of you. So it could be something to motivate this guy, because many said Aston Villa didn't turn up in the second half. If you look at it on the flip side, it could be United overturned up in the second half. And the fact that they were playing at Old Trafford. Old Trafford under Ole at some point was a fortress. They went a full season without losing at home. So sometimes that motivation could be there. New board, there's new manager bounce. maybe new board member bounce or new owner bounce, and the fact that some of that, I saw lots of comical pictures about the new owners snapping out, okay, these guys, you don't know what you're in for. And now they turn things around. Let's see it will be consistent. They're taking on Nottingham Forest, who's been very impressive as well. They went away to beat a very good Newcastle in their last match. Let's see if United can do it again. If they do it again then, and 2-3 games, maybe confidence will start coming back from their fans. But 2-3 straight wins for United this season, all right, that probably looks like a tall order.
Tall order. All right, you want to hear what Ten Hag told his players at the halftime? Take a listen.
Yeah, we're looking forward. I think it's positive for the club that they are in. They're stepping in. They have a lot of experience in sport on the highest level, F1, cycling team, other football clubs. So it can only help and support us to get our targets. So yeah, we are looking forward. They want to work with us and we want to work with them. First half, we played solid. Only it was a little bit sloppy to give 2 goals away from set plays. And I think only halftime we slightly changed a little the pressing, but there was a really slight change. But we kept going. Already first half we created chances twice. Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Dalot, and we were all very good, created chances from open play. So we keep going and believe in ourselves. And I said that is what I demand from a team. I said it before the game. I say it during halftime. Keep believing, and we will win this game.
How far it goes, right? All right. Well, it was nice doing this with you again.
Always good to be here every time. And compliments of the season.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a good night's rest.